Hello everyone, welcome back to another OC Portal tutorial. This is Alan Ellis, and I am going to talk about theming today, and we're going to do some significant changes. We're going to take the whole OC Portal default theme, and we're going to totally replace it. So instead of our Mayberry website looking like this, it's going to look like this. And this is a completely new theme that I built from scratch. And it's a relatively simple design, but I wanted to do something completely different than the default theme. So I'm going to click in the corner to pull up Firebug. This is a free Firefox add-on if you don't have it already. And just show you briefly, I have a little body tag here. There's a div that surrounds the whole top, and then a div for the rest of the site. And in there, I have a div for the left side and a div for the rest of the site. And then I had to do some funny things to get the padding and the shadows to all work out. But generally speaking, it's pretty simple. There's not a whole lot going on here. So what I would like to do is take all of this code that I've written. It's completely independent from OC Portal. I can show you, here's everything that's making this site work right now. There's an index.html, which is what we're seeing. There's a CSS style sheet and a couple of images to make it all work. So the idea being that you can go out and develop your own website from scratch, or you can find plenty of free website templates outside on the internet as well. And with a little bit of work, you can massage these into OC Portal templates, and that's what we're about to do. Now, it's going to be helpful if you already know some HTML and some CSS, because obviously that's what we're going to be using to edit our theme with. So if you're a beginner at it, you can try and keep up. If you're an intermediate or so, then you should have no problem. So, the basic theory. How do we make an OC Portal theme? Well, there are two good approaches to this. One of them is a completely piece-by-piece approach, and with that, you start with the theme wizard that OC Portal has, and you can pick your own color to start with, and from there, just sort of mold bits and pieces as you go, and tweaking it piece by piece. That's not what we're doing here. What we are doing is the from-scratch approach. And for the most part, this involves just quickly scanning through OC Portal's main global template, deleting just about everything that we find, and putting our own code in its place. The first option makes a little bit more sense if you're not doing major changes or major surgery. But in this case, we're going with a brand new design. So it makes sense to me that we should just do everything from scratch. And like I say, they're both great options. So let's get started. The first thing that I want to do is just set up a new zone for all this new content to be in, because the way I see it, this is a separate little sub-site. This is just sort of the retreats program that's part of Mayberry. So it makes sense to me that this would deserve its own separate site. And we can do that in OC Portal with what we call a zone. A zone is basically a copy of the whole website, but it's in its own little folder, but it still ties into the same member databases, and it can have all its own independent navigation, independent themes. For all intents and purposes, it's its own site. So that's what I'm going to do briefly. So we're going to set up a new zone for our wilderness retreats. So back over in my home page, I'm going to click down here to log into the admin zone. And to add a new zone, I'm going to come up here to Structure. And we are going to Zones at the bottom, add a zone, and we're going to call this the Retreats Zone, and everything else is fine. Just come on down and add the zone. Okay, if you get this screen, we're going to get this a lot during this tutorial. If you are running on a web server that's live out on the internet, chances are that in order to proceed, you need to fill out your FTP. You need to tick this little box and fill out your FTP username and password. Mayberry, blah, blah, blah. If you are running on a local machine, like a sort of a local development server, which is what I'm doing, you can see I have localhost, I don't need to do this. Just because it's part of Windows right here, I can just scroll down and I can click Proceed, and it goes without a hitch. So if you do get any of those screens during the course of the tutorial, just fill it out with your FTP information, and you should be good. So this is the new retreats zone. Right now it looks identical to the rest of the website, but we can fix that. I am just going to, this is the front page here of my new zone. I'm going to edit it and just put in some content. I have already written my home page, so I'm just going to copy this and paste in my content. So you can write about how wonderful the retreats are. Come on down and save it. And the next thing that I want to do is change this left-hand menu. I don't want any of these blocks, and we're just going to keep it simple. We're not going to integrate a proper menu, not in this tutorial. We're just going to click down here at the bottom to edit the whole panel in the zone editor, and click the Edit tab to edit the zone. And here's the 4 blocks that you can see. That 1, 2, 3, 4. So come over here, and we're just going to delete the 4 blocks. And I have already written my panel left. I just, navigation, and I have a list with some COM code for the pages. So you can write your own using COM code, or just sort of follow the same format that I've written out here. Right click, paste that in there. Come on down and save it. Okay. We now have the basic structure that we need for the website. This top panel, I'm not going to worry about it because I didn't design any of this zone navigation here in my top one. All I have is 3 images. There's a logo image, there's a middle image, and at a glance is a separate image. So no fancy zone navigation, so I'm just going to ignore this top panel, and we're just going to code it all right into the default template. So we are now ready to start. The first thing that I recommend doing is downloading something I've created. I call it the OC Portal Reset theme. And what this is going to do is strip out a lot of the default OC Portal styling that is likely to get in your way when you are developing. But it also leaves the majority of our CSS and HTML so that, breadcrumbs still look like breadcrumbs, and, things that are supposed to be hidden still remain hidden, that kind of thing. So to use this OC Portal Reset theme, you can download it off our website. I already have it on my machine, so I'm just going to go into the admin zone, and I'm going to import the new theme. So head on over to the Style section, go to Manage Themes, and do not click Add a Theme. That's if you're creating one from scratch. Click Manage Themes, and down here at the bottom, there's an area to import a new theme. So click Import an Add-on. And you can choose the OC Portal Reset theme from here. If you have the OC Portal Reset theme on your computer, just upload it. I happen to have it on my desktop, all nice and prepared. Come on down and import it. And that's it. Scroll on down to make sure that this is in fact installed. Here's the reset theme that we've just imported. If it says not installed and it has this I, just click that little I. That will install the new theme. And this is letting you know everything that it's about to do, which is great. So add it. Again, if you get this screen, fill it out with your FTP information. Hit proceed. And now if you look on down, it is in fact installed. So, fantastic. The next thing to do is make it ours. Head back to Style here. Manage Themes. We're just going to rename it. Click Manage again. Instead of having it called the OC Portal Reset theme for the rest of eternity, I'm going to edit it here on the left. This just edits it properties. And I'm going to rename this from the OCP Reset. I'm going to call it Retreats. And this is the Retreats theme. You can fill it out with all your own information if you like. And click Edit Theme. Okay, we are finished with that. Now, if I head into the Retreats zone, it still looks like the default OC Portal